Alright guys, so smile for the camera. Hello.
Alright guys. According to the Washington Post, 54% of Americans are concerned about stress levels in their daily lives. This is more than half of the American people, and this raises a serious concern for the other half of the people. Although stress can be beneficial at times, its harms greatly outweigh the benefits, and it should be evicted from your lives. My goal for this speech is to convince you all that stress is bad and it needs to be, and there's no room in your lives for it. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about stress and its harms, and then I'm going to tell you about stress management strategies to help you get rid of stress and help others get rid of it as well. I will also mention a plan of action that will help you take action against the growing problem. According to medterms.com, stress is a physical, mental, or emotional factor that causes bodily or mental tension. Stress is really bad for you, and I'm saying this because it's finals week and you guys are all stressed because I am too. Stress can cause you to overthink about finals, which will distract you to actually study for them, and that's bad for you guys because if you don't study for your finals, you might end up getting a bad grade and failing a class, which will impact your GPA, and you don't want that to happen. Stress is categorized into 3 subcategories, which are acute stress, episodic acute stress, and chronic stress. Definitions of these stresses are taken from APA.org. Acute stress comes from demands and pressures of recent past and anticipated demands and pressures of the near future. It is thrilling in small doses. For example, playing tennis for a couple hours is fun, but after a couple hours, your knees start to hurt, which is really bad. The same thing goes for stress. Acute stress is okay if it's a little bit, but if it's overdone, it can lead to episodic acute stress. Episodic acute stress is a frequent version of acute stress. People with this kind are always pessimistic and think something's going to go wrong, always. Chronic stress is the worst type of stress. This is the grinding stress that wears people day after day, year after year. Chronic stress destroys bodies, minds, and lives. Individuals see no way out of a miserable situation, and they give up searching for solutions. Now that I have talked about the different kinds of stresses, I'm going to talk about the harms of stress. As I mentioned earlier, harms of stress greatly outweigh its benefits. Brian Cairns wrote an article titled 8 Ways Stress is More Dangerous Than You Think, and I will discuss some of his findings with you. Stress makes it difficult to control emotions. Under stress, it is hard to control anxiety, and you may go off on someone for no valid reason. Secondly, stress can physically damage your heart because under stress, the heart rate is increased and the blood vessels are constricted. This increases risk of heart attack. Thirdly, stress can make you fat. According to researchers at the University of Miami, under stressful conditions, people are likely to consume 40% more food than normal. Stress also weakens your immune system. Stress wears down your body so much that it becomes more vulnerable to cold and flu. Now that I have mentioned the harms of stress, I will tell you the strategies to manage stress, which will help you to take action against stress. According to an article by Dr. Dan Bertner, there are 4 easy stress management strategies. The first one, keep a daily journal. Write down daily events that cause stress and how you respond to them. Over time, you will recognize a pattern which will help you develop a management strategy that works for you. Secondly, learn to say no. Saying no sounds pretty easy, but it is not when you're pressured to do something. Say no to your friends if they want you to hang out during finals, because that's not going to help you. Be aware of your priorities. Just be polite and tell them that you can't afford to do bad on your finals. Thirdly, drink water. Stress produces a hormone that's known as cortisol in your body. If you're dehydrated by even 2 glasses of water, the body produces more of this hormone and it increases the stress. Therefore, stay hydrated. Lastly, eat well. Eating well helps to stay away from most diseases, including stress. A diet low in saturated fat and high in fiber will keep you in a good mood and thus keep you away from stress. Now that I've talked about the harms of stress, I'm going to mention a plan that, if implemented, can solve the increasing problem of stress. You all must have heard the famous quote by Gandhi. He said that if you must be the change you want to see in the world, which pretty much means that if you change yourself, you will change the world. By putting that quote into our context, we need to bring changes into our campus first so that others could follow. I have thought of forming a club that will provide tips and helps to students who are stressed, but we all need to come together to help me form this club, because at the end it will benefit us the most. According to sjsu.edu/get involved, there are a certain number of steps to set up a club. Firstly, there's something known as this new student organization info session, which the president needs to attend. Secondly, there needs to be a minimum of 8 SJSU students who are required and who are willing to join the club to review and approve the Constitution. We must read and agree to the university policies for student organizations and attend an alcohol awareness program. Finally, a club advisor needs to be selected who needs to be a faculty member or staff member at SJSU. Submit all the information on Sparta.net, and it takes 6 weeks to receive an official recognition letter. Whereas funding goes, we can hold multiple fundraisers to support our club. I'm sure in this cold weather, selling hot chocolate will make you a lot of money. For enforcement, we need to wait another semester because we're freshmen and freshmen are not allowed to form a club. So basically sophomores can form a club. We all need to be a part of this for it to happen, and this will not only benefit our peers, but benefit ourselves too. Now that I've stated the main points, I want to review my main points and reinstate my thesis. In this speech, I talked about stress and its harms, some strategies to manage stress, and a plan of action to take. My purpose was to convince my audience that stress is bad and they need to get rid of it from their lives. I just want to close by saying that do not stress on your finals. I know you all will do great, and good luck. Thank you.